Hello, podcast world. I'm Marcus.
And I'm Nick.
We are Working Class Nerds.
Cue the intro. That's right, we are Working Class Nerds, the podcast that gives you no information about your favorite information.
Today is Thursday, May 28th, 2020, and you can find this Ben is Gonna Be Crying by the end of this show podcast on Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, and Stitcher. You can find the both of us on Twitter. I am at MarcusB814.
And I am at Nick Vern, that's Nickvern. And this week's episode, we're squatting up for some Call of Duty talk with Katerina and Venarros. So,
Oh my God.
What?
I'm ready to squat up right now. Is it wrong if we just play while we're doing the podcast? Do you think we could actually accomplish something?
No, we would suck at both things.
So we have two friends of the show. They raid with me on Sunday night in SOTOR, and then I don't know how we all got hooked on this game. I think Nick? Okay, so Nick told me to get it because it's free, and then I started to play it, and then I got Ven and Kat to start playing it, and now we've all been playing this game nonstop. So,
before we get into that, what have the both of you been up to this week?
Oh my
I think
gosh.
Marcus just said it perfectly clearly, nonstop Call of Duty.
I
Go
mean,
ahead,
I'm
Kat.
still homeschooling my kids because we are on pause
Right.
and not doing too much else. I mean, I've been playing at the park, playing wiffle ball.
I used to love wiffle ball.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. And then, of
I've
course,
got
I
a-
always play Tour and Call of Duty now.
I have a nasty curveball in wiffle ball.
Really?
Yep.
I am terrible at all things related to baseball and baseball like games, so I can't really boast anything.
What about you, Ven?
I've just been playing COD nonstop.
Have you played any SOTOR except on Sunday?
I've logged in, and I did one raid on Tuesday.
Yeah, we did my training raid on Tuesday night.
Wow.
Other than that, I've just been playing COD. So you know why I'm getting so angry. It's just building up more and more and more.
That makes sense, though. It's frustration, like, several times over if you're experiencing the same things all the time.
I mean, I'm grinding shipment, so yeah.
Oh,
Literally.
definitely.
Oh
Yeah,
my God. Shipment.
Jimmy is complete chaos.
Like so many people are dying in that mode that you're spawning and they're in the same spawn zone an enemy is spawning.
You're spawning literally where you die, and you're just spawning into bullet streams.
Yeah, it's
That one, I just can't even keep track of it. I sort
Yeah.
of gave up on it. Just spawn and start shooting. You'll probably hit someone.
and
That's
I
what
find
do
that
every time.
yeah, and then with everybody that I die to is either using an automatic shotgun, and since when can an automatic shotgun shoot 30 shotgun shells?
If you unlock the extended mag, I guess.
Yes, it's like do 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 do
On
do
the
do do.
Origin 12, there is a drum mag attachment that you can unlock and put on your weapon and that you can use to have 25 shots in the barrel for the mag.
That is insane
That is, but that's the perfect weapon for
for shipment.
shipment.
Yeah.
That's the perfect cancer weapon to be in shipment. Then just put a riot shield on your back and you're good.
Ooh,
It's true.
Kat, what did you call the riot shield on the back?
It was the turtle shell.
Yeah.
Time for Ninja Turtle.
Yeah. Oh man, it's been so much fun. So Nick, I know you weren't here last week because it was Nightmare Crystal 2 weeks ago now.
Yes.
Nightmare Crystal talk. What have you been up to this past month?
Well, I have definitely caught paintball fever. I started playing, pre-pandemic, and then everything shut down. And then I went to the first day that things opened up in Connecticut. They had a Wednesday night event where it's just pickup paintball, and there was a bunch of pros there. for like professional paintball players, just playing and interacting with people of all different skill levels. So I went to that and was like completely hooked again. And then that Saturday, this was last Wednesday. So podcast two weeks ago, paintball Wednesday, and then I paintball again that Sunday, and now paintball last night as well. So I'm definitely hooked again. I cannot wait to play again. I can't play this weekend because I have to work. Adulting, but I'm definitely getting back into it, and it's a ton of fun. It's kind of like riding a bike. I'm like fatter and slower than I used to be for sure, but like the actual playing part is better. It's coming back. So, but yeah, last episode I had just donated blood for the blood plasma donation because I had COVID. So what they're going to do is it was a whole blood donation, so I lost all like the red blood cells and everything. So they're going to take the plasma out of that has antibodies in it. Then they're going to infuse that with somebody that's really, really sick from COVID. So that's kind of interesting. But last week I was obviously have never played anything nightmare rating, and B, was really, really tired because I just lost a bunch of blood and not as much. My body had to work harder to like do all the normal things because I had 20% less blood than usual. So I was kind of grumpy and cranky, and that's why I didn't come on the show. But
that's
now,
okay. I handled it just well. Don't worry. You were in good hands.
I know.
And well, you know what's funny is when I know you so well. Obviously, I've known you my whole life, right? Or your whole life. Your
Yes.
whole life.
My whole life.
Yes, your whole life. I know when you're really tired because you're like in that like this not Starbucks commercial. God damn it. The Snickers commercial.
Oh,
when
yeah.
like the guy turns into Betty White and you get super cranky.
That's me.
That's you. Whenever you're exhausted, Nick goes full Betty White and you're like, all right, he needs to sleep and relax because if it's a text, it's like super short answers.
Yeah.
And or it's like so direct answers that you're like, damn, dude. I'm sorry you're in a terrible goddamn mood. Moving on.
That is true. That there's like a spectrum of me being tired and then it just like falls off a cliff. I'm like,
correct.
Yeah, I'm okay, not a big deal. And then after a certain point, there's like my whole demeanor falls off a cliff, and it's like I can't do anything, but I need to like just go rest.
Right. Exactly.
But I guess losing a bunch of blood did that to me for sure. But I knew the show was in good hands, and yeah, so now I'm back. But
and he's back,
and I'm back. So along the same lines, I did that. Then the hospital, because I donated at the same hospital I work at. Then because they were the they had a clinical study running of like experimenting with people that are really, really, really sick from COVID and with that plasma infusion, because I had it. Let me just back up a little bit and clarify. So I had COVID a long time ago. Yeah.
Is that a good rewind sound?
That's perfect. So I had COVID like 2 months ago now, beginning of April. I got better. I went back to work, all that fun stuff. Then I knew that in New York and place hotspots, they were trying to see if they could take plasma, which is like the watery part of your blood, which is what antibodies float around in. They're taking plasma from people that were healthy after they had gotten COVID and infusing that with people who are really, really sick. So, and what antibodies are, in case you don't know, that's what your body makes to tag viruses for your immune system cells to then come and eat the virus. So otherwise, if they're not tagged with antibodies, your immune system doesn't know to go attack them. So that's why viruses are kind of tricky. So until your body starts making the antibodies to tag them, they don't know to go. Your immune system doesn't really know to go attack it. It doesn't recognize it as foreign. So, me being better now, my body is making those antibodies against the COVID. But people who are super sick, their bodies haven't started making the antibodies yet. So it's basically this plasma is a way for me to donate those antibodies to somebody else who's really, really sick. More or less. I don't know if that makes sense or not. But so that's what I did 2 weeks ago. It was a whole blood donation. Then they take the plasma out. And they made a big deal about it because they're trying to promote it and get more people to donate so that they have more plasma to give to folks who are super sick. The hospital did. So they put me on their social media, like Facebook, Instagram, all that fun stuff. And then earlier this week, I had some casting company out of California reach out to me and say, hey, we're trying to do this little documentary. I think it said in the note, it said 0.30 long documentary, but I don't know if that's minutes or seconds. So it's either a 30-second film or a 30-minute film for social media. They want to share how plasma.
If it's 0.30,
no, colon 30, like ... 30. So like, I don't know if that's 30 minutes or 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's 30. Yeah, that's 30 minutes.
Probably. Yeah. So they want to do a 30-minute film and then also some stuff for social media to like promote. Hey, go see if your local hospital wants plasma donations, so that because that's super, super effective for helping people that have it. And they told me to sort of fill out this application with who I am, my backstory for getting it, and why I want to donate. And I haven't heard back yet, but that would be pretty cool if I ended up getting in this film for COVID. I could be famous.
Well,
it's my big break.
No, you're sick as fuck.
I mean,
really you were sick. Yeah. When my daughter was so worried about him, Julia, and we would FaceTime Nick every day, and you could see how bloodshot his eyes were. No, it wasn't because he smoked weed. It was because he was sick as a dog.
Yeah.
But Julia didn't know that, and like you could tell, like he's like, "Oh yeah, Julia, I'm fine," and his eyes are going, "Fuck, oh, feel good."
Yeah.
So it was, it sucks.
I had to pull out all my acting skills to talk to Julia and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing great," and then meanwhile, before that, I was like half dead on the chair. But so outside of my potential big Hollywood break here, I've been playing Call of Duty with you guys, but we'll chat about that later. So Marcus, how's it going, and what have you been up to?
I finally beat Skyva hard mode, which was awesome. That's an accomplishment for me with my damage control team on Saturday night from the Lit Guild, Lit, L-I-T. And then, so we started working on Isaac's, and there's so much in that fight, even in the beginning, and I'm trying to understand the mechanics, and I don't know if it's like who I am as a person or not, but like I want to be better. I always want to be better. And I want to be able to, not be a nuisance. And I feel like not a nuisance. I don't want to be the weakest link. And I feel like I am the weakest link. And it bothers me a lot because I feel like I'm fucking up so much, but I'm learning. But like, when is the curve turn from learning and being the weakest link? Right?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And, on the team, there's two of us that have never cleared this fight. So the other 6 people have. So it's like, okay, they know how it's done. So now are they judging me on how I play? And I've never felt like this before in a video game, because I was always like, I don't care. Like, I'm doing the best I can, and that should be good enough. But I truly feel like I'm not good enough. You know what I mean? But I'm trying. And there was a guide video I watched. So every time I watch it, it's 45 minutes of my life gone.
Yeah.
And
how many times have you watched it?
I don't even know.
A lot.
10?
Like more than 10.
Yeah, like 10 times probably. And I know, like, because the hardest part is, okay, if we get through the first phase, then we get into the second phase, everything's going great, and I've only studied the first 3 phases. What happens if we clear the 3rd phase? Now I got to know what I'm doing in the 4th phase. And I always get asked the question, Marcus, do you want the hard job or the easy job for the tank? And what do I always say, Nick? The hard job.
Yeah, right.
Because I want to be the best or be better.
Right.
And and because I'm taking the harder job, I'm causing the team to wipe more. It's a very big learning experience for me.
Yeah.
And I'm really enjoying tanking, but it's and now I'm starting to understand how Doc Sotor feels about losing all the time. So then Sunday nights with Death Star Troopers, we have been getting consistently to the 3rd floor of Revan, and we're all learning how these aberrations, so like they're big purple like pools of fog, right, Nick? And,
yep, I'm listening.
and it's your camera has to turn towards these things as they pulse.
It's
I
not
don't know if
just the
you-
camera, it's your character's body.
Yeah, so you have to turn your character's body towards these things, and it's almost like think like a clock. So somebody says 7 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, whatever those numbers are, and if you don't face them, the aberrations throw you off the map. Start over.
Wow. That's hard.
Yes, it fucking sucks.
Do you have to be like precisely facing them or just like the general like
I think it needs to be pretty close, but it doesn't have to be exact.
wow. That's a crazy mechanic.
It's difficult.
It's stupid. People, listen, I'm all for cool fights, but that is just a stupid mechanic that nobody needs. And I'm sure there's some hardcore Nightmare Raiders out there that are like, that's one of my favorite fights. Listen, when Death Star Troopers gets this clear, I am never going back to that fight. Zero interest. Zero interest. There's in the first phase, you've got HK4, you got the Trail of Agony, you're going to get put, if you're a tank, you're getting pushed into a pillar. If you're the healers, you have to cleanse a bunch of bullshit
Constantly.
Then HK47 comes down, and if you're a tank, there's droids you have to interrupt, or you get a kill shot that you have to run through a fucking beam, and then the beam breaks. The shot breaks through the beam, so the tank doesn't die, because if not, it does 888,000 damage, so you're instant dead. Like, they couldn't have just done 200k just to make a point. No, it's got to be 800k. Like, you're not surviving. Next thing. So then as soon as that's over, guess what you get to do, Nick? Go upstairs. What is terrible in SOTOR? Stairs. Platforming in SOTOR is terrible. Do you know how many times I've fallen off the stairs? Too many to talk about. Moving on to the second floor. Now there's a push and a pull mechanic. So you get pushed from the middle of the room to the outside edge of the room. Then you get pushed into the room. Mind you, during all that, the tank has to do his job, and it's fairly easy. The second floor. But wait, there's more. So when you beat the second floor, now the middle of the room, inside where that beam is, there's stairs that come through. Okay?
Yeah.
You have to climb those stairs to the third floor. Thank God only one person needs to make it, because then the entire team is rezzed on the third floor. You land on the third floor. Now your mindset has to change, and it has to think of this map as a clock, right? I don't know about you, Nick. I have terrible
sense of direction.
I have great sense of direction. I don't look at life as a clock, okay? That's not how I live my life.
Okay.
I run through Call of Duty praying and spraying, okay? I don't look at life as a clock. So now this fight starts.
That explains so much.
Yes. So I start the fight. I take the boss, okay? Pushes you out, okay?
Okay.
Now I have to stand in this exact spot, because if I don't stand in this exact spot, these aberrations that start floating around come in. They land within like inches of each tune. Okay.
Yep.
Then I have to go to this other spot, this exact location, because if I go any further, I can't taunt. And if I'm any closer, I wipe the group, because the boss cleaves the group. Next. Now it's aberration phase. You need to turn your camera and your body to look at this clock. Now, Marcus does not understand this clock mechanic. And I am admitting that right now, because I am terrible. But it's the dumbest fucking mechanic I've ever enjoyed in a game. And wait, I don't enjoy it. It's fucking stupid. So now, oh no, it's fucking terrible. And then, because and I'm not talking shit about any of my raid team members at all when I say this, but you have somebody explaining these aberrations, and if they go 7 o'clock, oh no, I mean 6 o'clock. If there's any delay, thrown off the map. Let's start over.
Yeah.
So you almost have to look for it yourself and be a big boy or big girl and learn how to. And for the record, Kat and Keone, I'm not calling you guys big. And you have to be a grown up and be able to pay attention yourself. Well, there's so much fucking mayhem going on this third floor. Marcus, ADD does not compute. Okay.
Right.
Does not compute.
Wait,
now,
so
if it get
the turning for this mechanic is precise. Like, okay, so if you if they're at
You
your
hold
6
your-
o'clock- if they're at 6 o'clock and you're looking like slightly at like 7 o'clock or something, you'll get tossed off. It's that precise.
Well, no, because the clock
No.
is bigger. It's bigger than that, Nick. So you're
Yeah.
thinking like it's a tight circle.
No,
Think
I
of
know.
like a big wall clock and how much space there is between the 6 and the 7.
No, I know. That's what I
Right.
mean. Like
Yeah. So
how
as
tight
long
is
as you're
that angle?
looking as long as you're looking in the general direction,
Yeah.
and you're not looking directly at 7, but you're looking in between 6 and 7, I'm
You're
pretty
okay.
sure you're fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see what you mean. Yeah, but if
So
you're
then-
you can't be looking at 9 o'clock and then you'll get tossed.
Oh
Right.
no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're definitely going over if you're looking
Yeah.
at 9.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. See you later. So after all this is done, you finish hitting Revan, and then he decides to disappear. And then this sphere comes into the middle room, and they call it the sacrificial sphere, which is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Because why aren't we killing Revan? We're killing this ball that's rotating in the room, and it's just pulsing the whole time. It's just pulsing, right? And you're just hitting this ball. And Revan is standing on the side holding his arms up like he's controlling, like he's doing the spirit bomb in Dragon Ball Z. Okay, Nick?
Yep.
What is the dumbest thing in Dragon Ball Z? The spirit bomb.
No way.
This
the
is
Spirit bomb's the best.
No, it
I
takes
gotta stop you
25.
there.
No.
The
sorry.
spirit
This-
bomb never works. It only
Okay.
worked on Boo.
That's
Okay.
the only one it
Period.
needed to work for.
Yep. So then, and now it's just a DPS check. So now everybody's going to die. It just does more damage as time goes on. There's not an actual enrage. It just kills you. It gets stronger as more time goes on. And then you clear the fight and win. Because I don't know about everybody else on the team. I have not gotten to that part because I fucking die during these stupid aberrations where I have to look at them. If I don't fuck up the tank mechanics, if I don't get pushed off the edge, if I don't do all these things,
If you don't fall off the stairs.
I stopped. I only do the first floor to the second floor stairs. I refuse to go up the third floor because I'm just going to die and I'm going to get really fucking pissed. Anyways.
Yeah, the second to third floor is like a significant parkour jumping.
I've never even
spectacular.
bothered to try to ascend those stairs. I just wait at the bottom.
So do you have like a particularly good jumper on your team or something?
I'm one of them.
I'm like, it's Ben.
Okay.
And Slayer.
Then
Got it.
Doc, Slayer, Muscle Man.
Yep,
Yeah.
those guys can all make it.
Yeah, because they've cleared. Well, so for the record, 3 of the team members have cleared this fight: Annie, Muscle Man, and Slayer.
Okay.
Everybody else has not cleared the fight. I enjoy tough, like Isaac's. I can understand, right?
Yep.
There's not stupid fucking mechanics in Isaac's. All right, I understand this, but
I feel like we had a good explanation from Slayer like 2 weeks ago about the aberrations.
he's been doing wonders teaching us how to do it.
Yeah.
It's still the dumbest fight. And in any, I'm so salty about.
Wait a
I'm
minute.
so
Wait a
sorry.
minute. Wait a minute. Can we just take a time out here and step back and look at the episode at large for a minute? Marcus, you have no business complaining about Ven crying in Call of Duty when you're doing this much crying about the stupid aberration.
Oh.
Oh, but I do. See the
As much
difference.
salt in this as
Wait.
Ven in Call of
But
Duty.
there is a difference because Ven cries because he's the best player on our team
Oh, for
or on our
God's
squad. He's getting the most kills with the least deaths on our team, and he's still crying that the other team is cheating. But we're gonna get to that. Don't you worry. We will get to that. But
Oh,
so-
boy.
so needless to say, other than that, in SOTOR, which I really enjoy my teams, and I really, really do, and everybody has fun, but I understand, like, when you start losing a lot, it weighs on you, and
Yeah.
thank God that I got Call of Duty and started playing it.
Yeah,
So-
that's got to be a nice like stress relief just to be.
I fucking love it.
I
I love it. I absolutely, positively love it.
Yeah.
So I was unlocking these things and it says tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and it got to like tier 19. And I'm like, the heck is this? And that's when Ben was like, oh, the battle pass. So I spent $10, bought the battle pass, even though it's over in 5 days. Why did I buy the battle pass, Nick? Tell me why.
The multi-pass. I actually don't know.
The multi-pass. No, because it gives you a German Shepherd that is your homie. I have a German Shepherd.
What?
My
It
dog-
does?
Yes, and I got Maggie, and then instead, you know that like finishing move you can do.
Yes.
The dog will kill the person instead of you stabbing it and shooting it. But anyways,
I didn't
so
realize
anyways,
that.
so
I'll go buy it.
I've been playing Call of Duty nonstop, and then I'm in a predicament. So I've been streaming a lot, which has been going great. The problem is my main desktop is a pretty dope computer.
Yep.
But I play games in 4K. And what it takes to run a 4K game, it's a big load on a computer. So I'm running 4K, and then you throw Streamlabs in it for streaming, and it is taxing my computer.
Mm-hmm.
And my streams, like SOTOR, it glitches a little bit when a lot of shit is going, and then like Call of Duty, like it'll like the frame rates will drop. Battlefront, I can't even play. So what I'm saying is, so I'm in a predicament. Do I build a streaming only PC that is just meant to stream, to handle the stream?
Yep.
Or do I buy 244 hertz 1080p monitors and get rid of my 4K monitors? I'm in this predicament.
Right.
So
personally, I say, I mean, yeah, I know you have money invested in that monitor, but I think having the 1080p monitors would just help your current computer a ton.
I spent $500 on one of the monitors.
I know. If you could resell that, it'd be one thing, but you're kind of
you can't sell a monitor.
Right.
And as soon as I plug it in, it instantly makes the native resolution 4K.
Right.
So now my computer is straight up rendering in 4K. So I'm in a really tough spot. And they say, "Oh, change your resolution on the computer." Never works right.
Yeah.
It's a big giant pain in the ass. And yeah. Anyways, the final thing that I've been doing is listening to Ven cry that he's gone 30-6 and the other players are cheating. But we're going to talk about Call of Duty and the anger management that Ven needs in a minute. But in SOTOR news, they've been fixing bugs, pretty much fixing bugs. I don't know if they announced this. When's 5.8? Oh, maybe. I don't know if we talked about it. They're doing on the PTS. They've released. They're going to be doing swoop bike racing as a weekly like an event, like the Raccoon event and stuff like that, the Gree event and stuff. I have not played it. It's on the PTS. I have not done it, but from what everybody's saying, the swoop bike racing is really fun. More details to come. Blasey, blah, blah, blah. In AIE news, Nick.
In AIE news, I have to scroll down there. Where is the AIE news section? Oh, here we go. In AIE news, Friday, June.
Wow.
I scrolled way past it. In AIE news, Friday, June 26th through June 28th will be the first ever. The first ever
sorry,
what?
I didn't put a space in there. Read underneath it. What's it called, Nick?
Oh, okay. See, this is what happens when Marcus writes notes and then I have to read them without proofreading them. So, you can't put end punctuation in the middle of a sentence. So let me start.
Oh my God!
over.
You just
no. Yes, in AIE news, Friday, June 26th through 28th will be the first ever AIE's Where to Start event, which is going to be hosted by Fezgig and Marcus. So what is it? Well, funny you should ask. It's a 3-day.
It's gonna
go ahead.
Okay. It's a 3-day event in all of the games that AIE plays.
Okay.
So on the first night, which is a Friday night, we're going to be starting with Elder Scrolls Online's Mandatory Fun Night. So Elder Scrolls Online is not a free-to-play game. It's a buy-to-play game.
Mm-hmm.
So what is going to happen, we'll do the Mandatory Fun Night. Somebody will be either streaming it. Well, all of the games will be streamed in our AIE Discord. So if you don't feel comfortable going to Twitch and watching somebody stream, it'll be in like a personal voice channel of the Discords. So you're going to be able to see all of these games played whenever they're being played. So we're going to do that to start the night. And then we're going to go into our yearly guild town hall, which basically gets everybody together. They talk about what's happening in the guild and they kind of go through questions and if there's any ideas that people want to see that happens with the guild, any games that are, up and coming. Cause I know like Fantasy Star Online 2 came out, stuff like that. If like they need, if things need attention in the gaming world, that's a good place to tell us. Then starting on Saturday, the details haven't been finalized yet. It's either starting at 2 p.m. and all these time zones are Eastern, or 4 p.m. We'll start with 2-hour blocks of all the games that AIE plays and continue into Sunday starting at the same time. What games, you ask? Nick, why don't you tell us?
Well, we've got World of Warcraft, Horde and Alliance, Elder Scrolls Online, Star Wars The Old Republic, Lord of the Rings Online, The Division 2, Guild Wars 2, Final Fantasy 14, Star Trek Online, and maybe some other game that is a mystery still. We'll have to figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be Eve or, there might be another game that the guild wants to stream, but we're working through all that. All the final details haven't been met. Stay tuned because we're going to be on the AIE podcast in a couple weeks, and we're going to be putting out a bigger news drop through the website and probably the, working class nerds and stuff like that. What's going to be special about this is anybody who wants to play these games, all you have to do is download the game. Most of them are free to play. We're going to, and basically whoever's hosting the event. So I'll talk about myself. So I will be hosting the SOTOR event. Go figure. Nick, what tune are we going to be all creating?
I don't know.
Or a class. What class are we going to be creating? A Marauder.
Oh.
So everybody we're all going to start off at level 1. We're going to all create a Marauder, and we're all going to go through for 2 hours, create a character, create your look, and then we're going to start going through the class story together. So maybe you've always, you've never played SOTOR, but you've always wanted to, and you're really like, you're not sure about it. This is the perfect night to come because there's going to be a bunch of us playing these games, and you're going to have the hand holding that you may need. And, it's going to be a really fun event because we've never done this before.
That sounds
as far as I know. Yeah, it's going to be really fun. I'm really excited because I'm going to get to play some of the games that I've never played that I'm going to want to play because now, they're going to be in the forefront, and it's going to be an opportunity to have everybody check out the guild and see all of the games we play because, Nick and I talk about this all the time, but you don't really understand how many games we play until now you're going to be able to see it. For an entire weekend, we're going to be taking over and streaming all the games the guild has to offer.
That's awesome. So if all this sounds fun to you, go to aie-guild.org, jump in the Discord, and ask for a guild invite, whether or not you play Star Wars The Old Republic or any of the other games we play, like all of the ones that we just chatted about. We'd love to have you. So come join us. aie-guild.org. Get in there. Jump in the Discord.
And come play games with us.
Yes.
So, Nick, do you need to use the bathroom?
As always, I do indeed. So we'll be right back.
Jeez, Nick, hurry up. We're trying to finish this podcast.
And we're back. So today we're discussing pew, 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 pew. But really we're talking about Marcus and I's newfound interest and borderline obsession with Call of Duty. So recently we dipped our toes into Warzone since it's free and found tons and tons of fun squatting up with all of our friends. So much so that we both ended up buying the full game as well. I mean, I had the full game for PS4, but now I'm playing on my PC. And of course, our guests this week are two of our fellow squaddies and AIE guildies. Right? I think AIE guildies or no?
Half and half.
Half and half. Sorry. But definitely squaddies though. So we wanted to have them both on and chat about why we find playing this particular edition of Call of Duty so satisfying. And I don't know, what is making us drawn to this edition more than others have, I guess.
So
go ahead, Mark.
Can I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
So Call of Duty for me means a lot. And I've talked about this many times on the podcast. Like, Call of Duty was the reason why I started PC gaming. But even before that, when Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the original Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare came out, like it was Xbox 360 time, and like that was the shit. There was a perk you got called Martyrdom.
Yep.
Where when you died, you dropped a grenade on the ground on your butt. So like, ha ha ha, I'm gonna kill you, even though that. And then that became like a meta game to be able to run away from that and not die. And it's been a passion for me for a long time. And then as the games progress through the years, I feel like Call of Duty lost its spark. So Black Ops came out, and this is the history of Call of Duty. So when Black Ops came out, it was really, really good. I personally like the Treyarch versions of Call of Duty better than Infinity Ward of the back of the day. I just felt they played better. They were faster. It was a better game for me. And it was funny because some people were better playing at the Infinity Ward games versus the Treyarch, and I was better at the Treyarch versus Infinity War.
Right.
It was just a different. It was the same game, but they played differently.
Yeah.
And then
same engines, but they played differently.
Yeah. Right. And then I feel okay. I'm gonna break this down to other games. I don't believe a game should come out with a new version every single year. I don't. I believe they should have a 2-year cycle so you can really get the full potential of the game and enjoy it. And then by the time 2 years is up, you're starving for a new one.
Right.
When a new game comes out, you play it hard for a few months and then you kind of drop off. And then the first DLC pack of new maps comes out and you play it like crazy. And then the game starts to disappear. Right.
Right.
Where if they committed to a 2-year cycle, I feel like you would be more committed to playing that game. But the problem is with any game, when you're coming out with a new one every year, that pressure of the next one has to be bigger, then the next one has to be better. And it got to a point where I feel like Call of Duty lost its like edge. Yeah. As soon as like the double jump came out in Call of Duty and it started to feel like Halo, and then they put the run on the walls mechanic like you can do in
Titanfall,
I just completely lost interest in it. It was like, okay, you guys lost what the fun of the core of the game is for me.
Yep.
And I walked away for years, and then they came out with like the World War II one, and it was still too much the newest World War II. It just wasn't there yet. And then they came out with this edition, and I've been talking to a lot of people who've been playing it, and they're like, it feels like, I'm going to call it OG Call of Duty. And I was like, really? And they're like, yeah, you got to try it because the Warzone, which is their battle royale, quote unquote mode, it's really fun. And what I hate about battle royales, all of them, or whatever ones I've played, is you never start with a gun. You always land with 2 fists, and then some other dude lands, and he happens to land right next to a box. And yes, survival of the fittest, natural selection, whatever you want to call it. And they've got a gun and I don't. I feel like I'm being cheesed. Like, I don't care if you have an AK-47 and I have a pistol. At least I have a shot to shoot you in the head.
Right.
Because a headshot is a headshot. And so Nick was like, dude, you got to play it. And I bought it. I don't know. How many months ago did I buy it, Nick? A while ago.
You mean
when it first came out.
Yeah, you downloaded Warzone immediately, but you just never really got into it until...
Well, I never played it.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago maybe?
Right. So then now fast forward to today, I'm enjoying it so much. And I think there's been a metagame in it for me where like I'm smiling and laughing and then true personalities come out, and I feel like in a Call of Duty game, because I'm going to call Kat out right now and say she loves like crawling around and sneaking in Warzone and like finding the perfect shot and shooting.
I really do.
Exactly. Me, I live by run and gun. But then you have other people on the show that get so mad because somebody like beat them. And it's so funny because like out of nowhere, you'll get, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, What happened? Dude, I had him and I was one shot away from my kill streak. So try again. I can't do this. These guys are cheating. And it's
Don't
awesome.
say cheating.
No, but I'm paraphrasing. Yeah, no, you don't say cheating.
Sometimes you do. Sometimes.
There was that one time when that guy was out of the map, but that was actual cheating.
Yes, I had the same thing, same match. Anyways, so Nick, you want to continue on. So why do we like playing this game so much?
So one of the first things is that I noticed is I definitely know that you can describe it, but I don't know how to properly. But this game feels like the old Call of Duty games do, like Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2, in Black Ops 2. Like those probably 4 Call of Duty games I consider the core, like at least for me, height of Call of Duty games.
What was the World War II game?
Which one? The first one, World at War?
Yeah, World at War. That game was amazing.
That was really good too. I'll throw that in there as well. So that era I consider like that's what I'm referencing, and like as like the height of Call of Duty for me.
Xbox 360.
Yeah, Xbox 360 exactly. So when I played, fast forward to I did play the newer World War II Call of Duty, which I think the whole purpose of that was to get away from the double jumps and the wall running and sort of the weird futuristic dynamic that the games before that had gotten into. So that second World War II game, just Call of Duty World War II, sort of was trying to return to it, but it still didn't feel quite right. Whereas with this one, now they've hit the nail on the head. I think it's the modern weapons because it's set as in modern times, but also just like the feel of the game is faster again, but not too fast where you're jumping around and things like that. But it feels right. So first of all, the core, why we like Call of Duty is there. Then also, you've got this free I feel like Warzone is the introduction. It's like the appetizer, it's like, but it's more than an appetizer. I'll call it the boneless buffalo wings of appetizers. Like you could eat that for your dinner if you want, but you don't have to, and it's way cheaper than an actual meal. Does that make sense? Like Warzone, it's free, it gets you hooked, and you're like, if you really like it, you'll order something else off the menu. But like for us playing this Warzone mode, it plays so awesome. You've got your Call of Duty gunplay going on that's really smooth and really fun and really intuitive. And then you've also got this really awesome battle royale. So obviously that's one of the most popular shooter styles now. Like why do we like Apex so much? It's because it feels like Call of Duty, and now Call of Duty's actually doing it. So there's sort of no need to go back and play Apex, at least for me. So that Warzone mode is great in and of itself. And then that introduces you to the real rest of the game once you go buy it, and then you see, oh my God, the multiplayer feels like one of, the prime Call of Duty games. And you've got all these really cool maps. I'm kind of rambling here, but then it opens you up to, oh, look at all this other cool things that they've expanded upon that we can talk about in a second. But let's just go back to Warzone, I guess, for a second. Go ahead.
Well, no, can I just say something that I do like, and we got to ask Ben and Kat the same question, but the one thing that I do like about the game, it's forcing me to play my favorite mode, which is domination, because when you get into the Warzone, you're dropping into an open map and you could get any gun, but if you grab a gun or you get like to the station where you can get your loadouts and your perks, if you don't have any of that set and you're only done the free mode, you actually at a disadvantage,
right?
Because if you get to that point where you can get like your perks and stuff, sometimes your perk, like for me, I get kill streaks in 2 less things. I would love to get a kill streak in Warzone, or the perk of sleight of hand where you reload really, really, really fast,
right? Or Ghost or something where you're invisible to someone else's heartbeat sensor or something.
Yes.
Like that.
Ghost comes in really handy towards the end.
Yeah, definitely. I like Ghost, and I Overkill, so I have two primary weapons. What was my third one? Tracker, I think. Tracker's pretty nice too.
Tracker is amazing.
Yeah, so you can see people's footsteps. But to Marcus's point, if you don't know, if you never played Warzone, one of the things you can get as you kill folks and other players. When you say folks, it makes it sound like real people. Once you kill as you kill other players and find boxes, you'll get money in currency, and then you can go to a station and buy a loadout drop, they call it, and that's when you can get this care package where you can choose a loadout from like your multiplayer loadout set. So now you have all the guns that you have customized and things like that. But if you've never played the multiplayer, now you have just the set, like the stock ones, and that's not nearly as good. But Marcus is saying it's forcing you to go buy the full game. Not forcing you, but it's really pushing you to buy the full game in a way that's not like, you don't have to do that, but it definitely is helpful, which I think is kind of cool. Like, I think that's a good move to get you to go buy the full game, it's in a non, like, I don't know, loot boxy type of way, I guess. But that's definitely a cool dynamic. I thought anyway. I would have never thought to like have something like that in a game.
Huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess I never dawned on me that's like a mechanic to get you to buy the full game until we just started chatting about it now.
Yeah, you're right. I feel that way because now I feel like, I have to play more multiplayer.
Right, to be better at Warzone.
Well, just to learn how to aim again and like be better. But at the same time, playing multiplayer actually makes you worse, I think. In Warzone, because Warzone is like sneaky, like here comes Cat. Shh. Cat's sleeping. You know what I mean? Like, oh, there's a guy. Wait for it. Oh, let's go kill him. No, wait. He's going to come to us.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then Cat gets the kill.
Right. Don't spring the trap yet.
But if Ven gets killed, what the hell, man?
Oh my God.
Sorry.
It happens.
Oh, no, for sure. But the Warzone, Ven, what do you think about the whole idea of the game? Did you guys ever play the OG Call of Duties?
I did.
I did not. I haven't played a shooter kind of a game like this since like SOCOM and Counter-Strike.
Oh wow, you're long removed from the world of first person shooter. Okay,
yeah,
so this is awesome.
I haven't played these games in crazy. It's like over a decade.
All right.
So that's why I'm like, oh my God, I'm so out of practice or whatever. But I feel like I've figured out the Warzone thing pretty well, pretty quickly.
You play it all the time.
I do play it all the time because I like it so much. I feel like it's one of my like book and movie obsessions. I really like the Hunger Games, and it's totally like that. Like you have to run around, you have to be smart. You can't just go running towards everything. You have to think, what are the other players going to do? And then you have to outsmart them and get to the drop. And maybe you have to kill someone on the way in or on the way out. And, but the second you shoot your gun, this is what I've learned in the last week. Never shoot your gun unless you're absolutely sure you're going to get the person down, because the more times you have to shoot it, the more people are sort of figuring out what your location is, and the more people will close in to try to kill you. And if you do shoot your gun, have an escape route. Like I'll shoot off the top of a roof. If someone comes out the door, I'll parachute down. If someone drops on my roof, I'm going to run back. You know what I mean? Like be ready. Don't just go running around without a plan.
Oh, Nick, that's the complete opposite of the way I play.
Exactly.
I never even thought of jump off the roof and use your parachute. Never dawned on me once.
Really?
Nope.
You just jump off the roof and say good luck?
Yep.
Oh my what?
What?
Yep.
You've never done that? I
nope.
Think it might automatically pull it for you, but
I think we need to go play.
No, it doesn't.
After this, because it's going to be revolutionized for you now.
Yeah, we should. We definitely should.
Oh well, let's hurry up and get through the show. Anyway, so Ven, what do you think? I know you said you've played the OG Call of Duties. So how does this compare to those? And did you ever have this much fun playing the old ones? Like, I don't know, what was your level of addiction to the old OG Call of Duties?
So, God, I started Black Ops, I think. Yeah, I started in Black Ops, and So my school buddies, they were all just fucking naturals at the game. And I was just kind of the guy who'd be there. He'd get some kills, but then my buddies were dropping like 50, 60, 80 kills every game. And so I mean, then I grew to like Call of Duty, but then I fell off super quick when was it Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare came out. But I mean, now it's like I feel like I'm playing Modern Warfare 3 again, and I'm having the time of my life, especially right now.
Yeah, I'll throw Modern Warfare 3 in there too.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that as well.
I am enjoying the whole revamped maps. I've been playing a lot of Hard Hat, been playing a lot of Shipment. Like, yeah, it's a good time. And I especially like the weapon customization system because it's like so many things to try and tinker with.
Yes, I agree. That's another. So like, that's kind of what I was wanting to get into a little bit was once Warzone's your appetizer, but then the actual multiplayer has so many added things that I find really cool. Like all the gun customization is way more than you used to be able to do. There's like
you level up your guns to 71 now. You get an attachment at every level.
Exactly. So you have 71 different attachments for your every single gun, which is pretty cool. Plus all the camos if you're into that. But the camo unlocking is pretty fun. I did that for one gun so far. But I think the map variability is really interesting too. Like if I remember some of the older ones, they were basically all just those sort of 3-lane style maps where you've got center, you've got right, you've got left, and you've got like some different structures in each one, but that's basically how it would run. Whereas in this, you've got, super, super tight ones like Rust, which is obviously a throwback one, but in Shipment, which is new and insane. Just
Shipment was a COD 4.
It was?
Yep.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was, but this is a different version of it, right?
I think it.
I don't think it's exactly the same as the COD 4 one. I remember it being different.
I'm not positive. COD 4 was like my least played of the
OG. Okay,
me too.
But at the same time, like I feel like the revamp of the maps is just a cop out to you know what I mean, to make new ones for me now.
No,
like
Shipment's different though. It's not the same map. And it plays way different.
No. Shipment is the exact same map as it was. It's the exact same layout. If you take the old one and put it on top of the new one, it's the exact same.
Well, call it what you will. I mean, I feel like they're just trying to pull more people in with that nostalgia.
Well, they're making it feel like the old OG game. But what I'm saying is, I played. What's the map? Is it Crash? Yeah, Crash. I hate that map. And I feel like ugh. But the one thing that they did good, so if you guys remember the OG Call of Duties, like Domination, there's like 15 maps, but Domination would only give you 4 of them, right?
Yeah.
Now with this, the map variability is huge. So I think I've played like
on Shipment.
Huh?
Domination on Shipment.
Right.
Well, right, but what I'm saying is there? I think I've played like 8 different maps for Domination, where in the old Call of Duties you didn't play 8 of them because there was only 8 maps in total. You know what I mean, or maybe 10 maps in total.
Right.
So, and only some of them queued for those game modes.
Right.
And then this game, in this game,
you have access to all of the maps for every game mode, pretty much.
Right. Yep.
And there's a whole ground war section that we don't think we've ever played together anyway, which is like almost more like a Battlefield style, where it's got tanks and helicopters and wicked giant maps, and it's like 100 people in there, or 64 anyway.
But that's, for me now, that's not Call of Duty.
Right.
Call of Duty isn't. I'm not a ground war guy for Call of Duty. If I want to play ground war, I'm going to play, Battlefield, or even Supremacy and Battlefront.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Call of Duty for me is like straight up action shooter, arcade shooter, where like you die, you can respawn instantly. I think that's why I like it so much, because no matter how shitty I am, I spawn right away. There's no waiting. We're in like Battlefield. You have like a 15-second delay to be able to spawn. And you're like, all right, I'm ready. I'm hyped. I'm ready to go. And then it's like, okay, Dad, I gotta wait.
Well, I like that you respawn right away as well, because then it doesn't make me feel so bad that I died. And it keeps the game more, to me, it feels lighter. It's just easier. It's like, who cares? It's more relaxing. And that's how you end up like yesterday. Like we burned like what, like 2.5 hours?
Oh my God.
Just boom.
Yeah, we looked at the clock and it was 11:30. I was like, it's 11:30. And Ben was like, yep, it is.
And we're trudging forward. But I think one of the I guess I got one more point I think in my notes here. I was gonna say for me, I think this is just generally for battle royales, but I really like the team aspect of like, hey, we're all trying to survive and conquer this map together. And I think that's one of the reasons why we enjoy playing that game mode so much. It's like, hey, at least when you're with a whole squad of people, it's just infinitely better than sort of trying to queue by yourself or even with 2 people. When you've got the full squad, it's awesome to be like just coordinated, and I think it's one of the reasons why like group content in Star Wars: The Old Republic is awesome for people too. It's just that feeling of like, hey, we're all in this together. We're all working towards the same goal, and it's just awesome to sort of be a part of. And that's kind of, I think I feel that more in Warzone than in like a multiplayer even.
Yeah, I definitely like that aspect of it too. I like being part of a team.
I like teams. I like that in paintball too. Obviously, but
I'm seriously going to try paintball one of these days. It always seems like it's going to be super fun.
It is.
I just never had the nerve to actually do it.
Just know that it hurts, and they're not they're not that accurate. The paintball monsters, but that is okay, and you're gonna be okay. Just keep your mask on, and that's it.
All right,
it'll be great. If you live on the East Coast, then maybe we could play together sometime. Although
I do live on the East Coast.
On the Northeast Coast. Oh yeah, you're from New York, right?
An hour from you guys.
You do?
Give or take.
No, I live about 2 or 3 hours from Marcus.
Yeah. Marcus and I live like 7 minutes from each other, so.
Oh, well then I live 2 or 3 hours from you guys.
Yes. Fen, where are you from?
I'm in Cincinnati.
Okay, that is substantially farther.
Slightly further.
Hey, Nick, they're in Bengal country.
Ugh. That's rough going. Do you like football?
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to Joe Burrow. He's going to be stomping all over your newfound quarterback, Andy Dalton.
Right.
Andy
You're going to
Dalton.
get acquainted with what we call the gamble throw. You're going to grow to hate it very quickly, and then you'll grow to hate the man.
Yeah, I'm not a big Andy Dalton fan, but I get it. It'll be fine.
Joe Burrow, we're gonna have some good seasons out of him.
What if we win it all? Anyways,
everyone will be so angry.
Wait a minute. I was gonna say I don't think the Patriots picked up Andy Dalton.
I'm pretty sure that's where he's going.
I don't
I've
think
heard
so.
anywhere else.
Yeah, I have too, but then upon a quick Googling, it says like Patriots are definitely not picking up Andy Dalton. We've got that new guy and our backup, and then someone else on the roster also. We already got 3 quarterbacks. I can't imagine they'd sign somebody for like substantial money, and they've got like no cap space.
Still, we got Joe Burrow.
Yeah, Joe Burrow is going to be a big upgrade. But anyways, this podcast never talks about sports, but it's all good.
So
back at the
into into the war zone. Something that so if I'm going to compare battle royales, something that Apex Legends does well is when everybody can spawn by me pushing a button. If I'm the squad leader, like everybody doesn't have to spawn at the same time. Like I can, like Apex starts with you ejected and there's a follow button, right?
Oh, right.
So you push one button and so I'm the squad leader. All of you guys just push the button to follow and we all land in the same place or relative, because you can break off of that once you're getting close. I like that. The Call of Duty one I actually don't like, because if you're not in a voice chat or you're in a pug, nobody's communicating. How do you communicate?
Text.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, but who does that?
You know, I did play that
I
round.
yell at the other teams in the text chat every game.
I played a few rounds in Battle Royale with no voice comms, and they did a lot with like the people did a lot with just pinging stuff to be like, this is where I'm going, this is a contact, does anyone need this gear, like whatever, and it worked. I mean, I don't think like the last one I played, we were fourth. We didn't have any voice comms. I'm not sure if they were together or not. It was just like scrub team, but we made it to the end.
But you don't know. They could have been in a party.
Maybe, but it didn't really seem like it the way that they were moving around like in the beginning.
Yeah, they weren't overly coordinated.
No, it was not like that at all. And then it just sort of, it lasted a long time, you know, being close to the end of the game. It lasts a long game. So, and then towards the end, it was like everybody was pinging the things and, you know, keeping it together.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Sounds like we're going to have to go try this out. And test our theories here after the show.
Yeah, so what drives you guys insane about the game? Like, what makes like if you have your trigger points, what are they? And I want to start with Ven.
Campers.
But isn't
what?
But isn't Warzone made for campers? As long as you're in the circle, you need to find a secure location and camp.
If Warzone was made for campers, why do they have the bounty contracts, the vehicles, the pings, the heartbeat sensors? Do I need to go any further?
That is true. There's a lot of anti-camping.
Well, it's to keep the game moving forward.
Yeah. I mean, it's also like, I kind of feel like the vehicles are only like if you're really stuck. Like, I would never use a vehicle if I could avoid it because they're too noisy.
And they show up on the map, too. The mini map.
Yeah.
Well, unless
camp in Warzone, get to the end of the game, guess what? You're just going to get rolled on by a team that's equipped with heartbeat sensors and all this other stuff. You'll never see them.
But at the same time, you know, I understand why the vehicles, because like if we're on the edge of the circle and there's a car there, we're getting in that car and we're driving into the circle.
It's for an emergency, I think.
Emergency only.
Yeah. Either that, the only vehicle that seems like it might be good is the giant military grade like troop carrier thing. That thing seems to be quite armored. I saw at the end of the matches, like if I'm like number 10 or something like that, I've been watching the end of every match to like see what strategies the people that are winning are actually using. Mm-hmm. And I have seen that once or twice. Like somebody's got like the big military truck. Like that thing doesn't go down to like a hail of bullets, but like the things were like, you know, some butthead is like riding like a dune buggy. Like, yeah, you're going to get shot right off that thing. You know? Like,
yeah. I appreciate your vernacular of some butthead just getting
Well, I mean, facts are facts.
Right.
Plus, I'm not totally sure how much or how little we're allowed to swear on the podcast. So I'm trying to keep it. Yeah.
No, there's no holds barred. You can swear as much as you want.
Okay. Well, then I'd call them a dumbass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
the only other thing I would say. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Marcus. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say the only other thing that really drives me crazy is how often the servers get screwed up. But
yeah,
that is really frustrating. But I'm assuming it's like all hands on deck that they're working on that, because that is not just, you know, that's not isolated. Like all over Reddit, there's memes about how bad the servers are for this game. But and also the enormous updates. They're always like 10 plus gigabytes. In like one of them was 30 gigabytes recently just for a patch.
I was looking at some of the comments on YouTube for the season 4 sort of trailer reveal, which also, by the way, Captain Price is my new main. And no, I was seeing a lot of comments like 50 gig update incoming.
Yeah, probably. I mean, like it's not like it's taking up that much more space. Like a lot of it is just rewriting data, but still you have to still download that much content. It takes forever. There's nothing worse than like, and plus like if the servers are acting up, your internet speed doesn't matter. Like I know on this last one, It was like 30 gigs, and it was stuck at like 10 megabytes per second or something because the servers were just crappy. And I think yours was even worse, Van, if I remember right.
Mine got a significant upgrade a bit ago. But
Okay.
then Cats.
Oh,
She
it was
has
Cats.
that
That's right.
premium internet.
No, mine is super, super fast. I don't
okay.
have problems with downloads.
It's
I thought-
like
Okay.
quarter of a gig a minute or something. It's ridiculous.
That is very fast. No, I thought someone else had problems with it. Never mind, just me. My internet's usually fast. Usually it's like 100 megabyte per second. Bit or byte? I forgot how that works.
My internet's completely fine, but what I don't understand, okay, is I don't understand why they're so big. It's not like they're adding new maps. I don't understand why these updates are so big. Like, you literally need like 120 gigs or more to be able to play this game.
Yeah, I don't understand what all that storage is for.
They
either.
do actually frequently add maps in, and then they just release them periodically throughout update cycles. Like Hard Hat was literally released the week we started playing.
Right. Or it was in the game the week we started playing, you mean?
It just got added the week we started playing.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
I
Yeah.
think maybe they drop a map every other week or something. I don't know. Map a month.
Great.
is-
So
that is-
I'll be lost forever.
Oh, I'm figuring out a new map. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to go play. What do you guys think?
All right, that sounds perfect.
Thanks for
Yeah,
coming
I'm
on.
ready.
Lucy. Of
Thank you so much for having me.
course,
Thanks
anytime.
for coming on.
What are you guys talking about in here?
Find out next episode of
Working Class Nerds.